In a world full of challenges and obstacles, disrespect is something we all face at some point in our lives, whether it's a snide remark from a colleague or a rude comment from a stranger. Dealing with disrespect can be difficult, but what if I told you that there's a timeless philosophy that can help you navigate through these situations with grace and wisdom? Today, we're diving into ancient wisdom and practical advice to help you live a more fulfilling life. Get irritated or furious, but Stoicism teaches us something important. Disrespect does not have to destroy our day. It is not the disrespect itself that affects us, but how we think about it. When someone insults you, instead of immediately feeling upset or angry, Stoicism advocates taking a step back and realizing that their words or actions are simply a reflection of their own ideas and feelings. It's like this. If someone doesn't like chocolate ice cream, it doesn't mean it's awful. It simply indicates they prefer something else. Similarly, if someone disrespects you, it doesn't imply you're not worthy or useful. It just indicates they have their own opinions. Staying cool requires knowing that their disrespect does not define you, and it's okay to let it slide off your back like water off a duck. 2. Reflect on yourself when faced with disrespect. It's natural to feel defensive or hurt, but Stoicism encourages us to pause and think about the situation instead of immediately reacting. Take a moment to reflect on yourself, asking yourself questions like, is there any truth in what they said? Or did I do anything to provoke this? It's like looking in a mirror and seeing if there's something you can improve about. Instead of reacting impulsively, consider taking a deep breath first, giving yourself time to gather your thoughts and respond in a way that matches with your values and beliefs. 3. Learn to pause. Imagine someone says something rude to you and your blood boils. Stoicism teaches us that in moments like these, it's important to hit the pause button instead of immediately reacting with anger or frustration. Take a moment to pause and breathe. Just like when you're playing a video game and you need to hit the pause button to strategize before moving forward. This pause gives you a chance to regain control of your emotions. You see, Stoics believe in responding impulsively based on intense emotions like anger or frustration often leads to making decisions we might regret later. So by pausing, you're giving yourself the opportunity to think more clearly and make a rational decision about how to respond. It's like taking a step back from the situation to gain perspective, sort of like zooming out on a map to see the bigger picture. This way you can respond in a way that aligns with your values and principles rather than letting your emotions dictate you. Imagine someone saying something insulting to you. Your first inclination could be to shoot back with a cutting remark or to feel wounded and insulted. But Stoicism teaches us to take a different approach. Empathy. Empathy means putting yourself in the shoes of the other person and trying to understand where they're coming from. It's like imagining what it would be like to walk a mile in their shoes and see the world through their eyes. Stoics believe that everyone has their own struggles and challenges, and sometimes people lash out because they're hurting or insecure themselves. So instead of taking their disrespect personally, try to empathize with them. Knows your empathy may even help them see things from a fresh perspective and lead to a more beneficial connection. Let us talk about being virtuous. Being virtuous does not imply you have to wear a cape and save the day like a superhero. It's actually much simpler than that. Stoicism teaches us that being virtuous means being good and doing the right thing. It's like being kind to others, telling the truth, and standing up for what you believe in. When someone disrespects you, it can be really tempting to fight fire with fire. But Stoicism tells us to focus on being virtuous in our response, instead of getting caught up in the drama and allowing our emotions take over. We should respond in a manner that matches our values and principles. It's like taking a deep breath and asking ourselves what a good person would do in this situation. It could mean staying calm and composed, or standing up for ourselves respectfully. Whatever it is, focusing on virtue helps us stay true to who we are and what we believe in, even when things get tough. 6. Embrace acceptance. Now let's talk about acceptance. Imagine this. Someone says something insulting to you and you feel like you've been struck in the belly. It's normal to want to fight back or to feel angry and outraged. But Stoicism teaches us that sometimes the best thing we can do, accept things as they are now. Acceptance does not require liking or agreeing with what happened. It just means knowing that it happened and choosing not to let it dominate us. It's like accepting that it's raining outside and electing to fetch an umbrella instead of moaning about the weather you see. Stoics think that some things in life are beyond our control, such as other people's actions. Therefore, rather than wasting our energy and emotions on things we can't alter, we should focus on what we can control, such as how we respond to the circumstance. 7. Use comedy. Let's talk about humor now. When someone disrespects you, it might feel like a hit in the belly. But Stoicism teaches us that occasionally a little laughing may go a long way in turning things around. For example, when you're feeling down and a friend tells you a foolish joke that makes you smile. Humor has this magical way of diffusing tense situations and helping us keep our cool. So instead of letting the disrespect get under our skin, Stoicism tells us to respond with a sprinkle of humor. I'm not saying you have to be a stand-up comedian or anything, but a witty remark or a playful joke can work wonders in shifting the energy of the conversation. Is like saying, "Hey, I'm not going to let your negativity bring me down. I'm going to rise above it with a smile." My face, and who knows, maybe your comedy may take the other person off guard, leading to a more beneficial connection. 8. Set clear boundaries. Now let's talk about boundaries. Imagine someone disrespecting you, and you feel like you've been walked all over. It's like someone stepping on your favorite pair of shoes without asking. Not cool, right? Well, Stoicism teaches us that we don't have to be a doormat. We can stand up for ourselves and set clear boundaries. It's like painting a line in the sand and declaring, "This is where I stand, and I'm not going to let anyone cross it now." Setting limits does not imply being impolite or belligerent. It means being forceful and respectful of yourself and others. So when someone disrespects you, it's appropriate to speak up and let them know that their behavior is not acceptable. It's like saying, "I deserve to be treated with respect, and I won't take anything less." By creating clear boundaries, you not only respect yourself, but also educate others how to regard you. 9. Choose forgiveness. Let's talk about forgiveness now. When someone disrespects you, it can feel like a slap in the face, like they've taken a piece of your heart and stomped on it. But Stoicism teaches us something powerful, the art of forgiveness. Now, forgiveness doesn't mean you're weak or letting the other person off the hook. No, it's much deeper than that. Forgiveness is like setting yourself free from